Well,
All right, sports fans, it's Wednesday afternoon, and welcome to GT Sports, the podcast, professional and college talk. This is where we keep it 100, where we give you our thoughts. We let you know what we're feeling. We talk NFL, we talk NBA, we talk MLB, we can talk wrestling, we can talk soccer, we can talk baseball, softball, anything, boxing, UFC. We do it all right here on GT Sports Professional and College Podcast. And on the screen, you'll see here in a bit my sports partner in crime, James Johnson. James, how you doing?
doing good, man. We're doing good.
Uh,
Salute.
Man, you and I talked earlier today. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, NFL obviously heating up right now with the wild card round coming up here on Saturday. Two games on Saturday, three on Sunday, and then one on Monday. So a lot of NFL. Also, what's on the headlines? Everyone's checking out, right? The firing. We were seeing coordinators getting canned. We've seen some more head coaches. There's probably going to be more coming. So that's what's kind of everyone's paying attention, and kind of, hey, look, this guy's gone, this coach is gone, this coordinator's gone. We've got college football tomorrow. We've got the Final Four, right? So we're also going to talk a little bit about that. Then you got the NBA, man. A lot of stuff going on in the NBA. My Spurs taking another loss to Memphis. I watched that game. The Spurs are kind of sliding down a little bit, James. They were doing really good here. They've hit that patch where they're competing, but they're not getting the W. So not real concerned. But it's not nice to see that we're kind of going down a little bit. I want to kind of stay up because I think the West is tough. You really you got to keep winning. To get yourself in a pretty high seeding position when the playoffs come. So a lot to talk about. Let's start off right now with the coaches and who has been let go. We talked about some yesterday. Another one here that I wanted to talk about first off is John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He was fired yesterday, January 6th. Your thoughts, James, on the Baltimore Ravens changing course and after 18 years, Harbaugh out?
It was time for Harbaugh and Ravens to part ways. Harbaugh was a good coach. I'm not gonna say great. He was a good coach, but it was time for some new energy in Baltimore. And Harbaugh, you've been there 18 years, so you from the old way of coaching professional football. But things has changed. We had Lamar Jackson, a dual threat. You got Derrick Henry. You got Andrews. You got Likely. You got Flowers. There's no way you should not be in the playoffs. And I don't understand why. I was watching some things on social media about how great of a coach Harbaugh is. What have you done to be a great coach? You had a lot of talent and you couldn't win. So it was time for them to part ways with Harbaugh and get a young coach or get another coach who can continually unlock the talents of Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers and Likely and Andrews and even with Derrick Henry. I know he's getting at the end of his career, but they need some new blood, man. Harbaugh just wasn't the answer.
Well, 18 years with an organization, long time. Obviously, when you spend that much time in one city, obviously you're like family, right? I would imagine you're in the community. The community's into you, your family. You become part of that. It's not just a job, right? 18 years, you're embedded into the community. You brought a Super Bowl. He got him to the playoffs. So he changed that culture when he first got there. But you're right. In the last 5, 6, 7 years, he had dropped, right? You can't take away his resume and what he did for Baltimore. But what have
One,
you done?
all he did was win a Super Bowl.
Well, he
That was
did. Well, that's more than what most coaches do in the NFL. Some coaches coach the whole career and never win one.
no great coach because you won one Super Bowl. Michael
No,
Carter
yeah,
won
you're right.
one Super Bowl.
You're right. He's not great, but I thought he was good. But the question is, what have you done for me lately, right? And lately he hasn't done much for Baltimore, right? They've been struggling, and you talk a little bit, like you said, you have talent, man. You have Lamar Jackson, what two-time what MVP or something? Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs still today. I mean, that team is good, and he has underperformed. He has underperformed. Whether it's a missed field goal, whether it's a drop pass, in the end zone, whatever it was, it falls in the shoulders of the coach, right? Because when you look at this year, they struggled. They struggled mightily. I mean, they barely got in to the playoffs. So I also agree with you. I like John Harbaugh, but I did think it was time for him to go. I think in my opinion, Baltimore made the right decision. You got to have a new voice to inject some energy in him. So
Definitely.
I thought that was the right move, and not only for Baltimore, but I think it was the right move for John Harbaugh too. I think they both needed to go. I think he needs a fresh start. I think Baltimore needs a fresh start. We'll see where Baltimore goes from this point. Um, my next question to you is: do you think that John Harbaugh, because his name's popping up everywhere now? I read something where
I
his
did too.
yeah, they said as soon as he got fired, his agent had like I don't know how many calls, and he's linked to Cleveland, and he's a head candidate for the Giants. Do you, James, think that John Hart, because he's already come out and said I want to coach again? Do you think we'll see him on the sidelines in 2026?
Yeah, he'll be on the sideline because he's a coach. But honestly, I think he needs to take a year off, learn the new NFL. He needs to learn the new NFL because you still the plays you ran was the plays you was running 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Even though you had a different offensive coordinator, but it was the same game plan. So that means you had your input on the same game plan. But I just don't. He's gonna coach because the NFL wants him to coach. But wherever he goes, I just don't see him really succeeding. I thought going to Cleveland and helping us Shador and Miles Garrett and Junkins and those guys. And I love Isaiah Bond, the wide receiver. Love that guy. But honestly, wherever he go, he's gonna fail. He's gonna. He's not that great of a coach. When you won the Super Bowl, man, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have Ray Lewis and Ed Reed?
Oh yeah, it was in
Um,
2015 or something like that. It's been a while since he won.
that's what I said. That's what I said. He had those great Hall of Fame defensive players. Be honest, I just don't think he's a good coach, but I don't see him as a great coach. And wherever team he goes to, he's gonna fail.
That's fair. I don't think he's a great coach either. I think he's a really good coach, but I'm definitely not. I don't think he's great. But I do think he will coach. There are definitely teams that want him. He
Yeah,
obviously
it,
has
it
come
is.
out. Yeah, he's
It,
obviously come out and said he wants to coach. So I definitely think he'll be somewhere. I'm not sure where he'll be, but it will be very interesting because here on the podcast we'll continue to follow this
somebody gonna pick him up and think
because where he goes will be important. Will he succeed? James says he's going to fail. I don't know that I want to. I want to say that.
and Baltimore failed to realize Harbaugh didn't build that team. Ozzie Newsome did.
Right.
But
Ozzie
he
built it, and Harbaugh coached it. Right. Right.
Ozzie Newsome was the general manager. He also was the tight end for the Cleveland Browns when they also moved and became the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So, Ozzie Newsome got him that talent to win. And once Ozzie Newsome was gone and those defensive players were gone, what has Harbaugh done?
I
What did
well he
last finish? When was the last time Harbaugh been in a AFC Championship game?
It's been a while. I think he got there. There's no question that he's underperformed in the last couple of years with the talent that he's had, with the quarterback that he's had, right? And then bringing in Derrick Henry, the last couple of years, one of the still the best running backs in the NFL. You had definitely underperformed, no doubt about it.
No, come on.
And
I told you at the beginning of the year they should get rid of Harbaugh.
Yeah, I like I said earlier, I think that was the right call for both. I think it's also a good call for Harbaugh. He needs a change, man. He needs a change, right? You need a change of scenery. It gets stale there, right? It's drop passes, missed field goals, and even James. Look, I'll go this far. Even if they would have won, which they would have been playing here in the wild card, but when you look back at this season, right? He still underperformed. I mean, with Cincinnati out, I mean, Pittsburgh isn't better in that division than Baltimore, right? And yet, you barely snuck in. So either way you see it, had he gone to the wild card, when you look back, let's say he makes it to the wild card and he loses this weekend, right? I would have looked back at that season. He still underperformed, right? The only way I would have thought that he had a good season is if he could take it all the way to the AFC Championship game and maybe the Super Bowl. But still, when you look at the talent he has and the record that they have and the games that they lost, the only conclusion I could have came with, yes, he underperformed. Now you look at his whole 18-year career there with Baltimore, because he comes from special teams. He was a special teams coordinator. He was very, very good. And then he got the job to become the head coach of Baltimore. So he was never a coach. He was a coordinator, special teams. Then he gets this job. He was able in 18 years to win a Super Bowl. A lot of coaches can't say that. So props to him, right? But now moving forward, he's going to get another job. How successful is he going to be with this next team? You say he's going to fail. Already you're saying there's no chance he'll get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's going to fail, man. Harbaugh, I was on the social media talking about he's the number one sought after head coach. Why? Why? You had two-time MVP. You had a running back who rushed for 2,000 yards, and you still couldn't get to the AFC Championship.
True, man. That's true. I mean,
so
what have
he done? But when it's a whole bunch of coaches won one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What had you done in 18 years? You just like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin been in Pittsburgh by about 16, 17 years. Harbaugh, you've been in Baltimore 8 years. Y'all won one Super Bowl in 18 years. So is that telling me you're a great coach? No, it's not. It's telling me you're an average coach. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say he's a little above average, but I won't say he's great. I won't say that, but I think he's above average, but not great, in my opinion. Not great because, like I said, when you look at the talent that he's had the last couple of years here with Baltimore, let's say the last 3 years, he's underperformed all 3 years.
He didn't win.
No doubt about it.
That talent. He's an average coach. He's not above average. He's an average coach. The only time you won because you had Hall of Famers on the defense. After that, you couldn't coach those other players up to be good enough to even get past the second round. So you're an average coach.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Super Bowl can get past the second round. You're average coach.
You know why I say that? Because a ball was dropped. He has nothing to do with catching the ball. The ball was thrown to be able to tie the game, and your tight end drops it. Man, that's on the player. That's not on Harbaugh. That's on the player, right? And then so he lost that playoff, and the season's over. They moved the ball down the field. Your field goal kicker, it's a 40-something yards. I mean, that should be easily made the way these field goal kickers are kicking. So not advancing again. I mean, he can't go kick the field goal, right? So it's a little bit of bad luck for not advancing to the
Ain't no bad luck. It's terrible coaching.
No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate because he
Gabe, look at this.
No,
Shador,
that's not bad coaching
Shador
because
Sanders,
the teams in
that team in Cleveland beat Pittsburgh, right? Shador Sanders, with their running back, is on injured reserve. They don't have no wide receivers. Their offensive line is terrible, and they beat Pittsburgh. And Shador on his fifth start beat Pittsburgh. You
yeah, but
Hall of
come on.
Fame players on your team, and then you put it in the hands of a rookie kicker, man. That's terrible, man. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
but we're not looking at one game. We're looking at an 18
Yeah.
year resume here from a guy that came. I'm looking at the whole thing. And like I said, the last couple of years, he put his team in a position to win the game. This last game, he coached well enough to win the game. Your field goal kicker got to go out there and make the field goal. I mean, I don't know that I can actually talk about the season because I expected the record to be better than it was. That's why I'm saying the record, the way you performed. I know Lamar Jackson was hurt, but you had Derrick Henry there, right? He underperformed in the season because the record wasn't what I thought it should be with the talent that he had. Moving forward now, he lost that playoff game. That's on that he coached well enough to put that team in a position to win.
That's on. Okay, Andrew missed that pass. I understand he missed that pass for the 2-point conversion, but there's no way your team is more talented.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it comes down to a rookie field goal kicker. That is the coaching. Because there's no way a team just lost to Shador Sanders and the garbage Cleveland Browns. You should have been within put on a rookie kicker to make a field goal to win the game. It shouldn't even been that. Baltimore is way more talented. They got way more talent than Pittsburgh. That is the coaching.
That's true. That's true. But we've also seen other great teams lose to bad teams. Like Harbaugh's not the only good coach who has played a season, and we've gone in and said, "Hey, this team is good," and they've lost to a bad team, a team that shouldn't have lost. Good coaches have lost to bad teams on Sunday.
To go to the playoffs, name me one good team lost to a bad team. Name me one.
In the playoffs?
To go to the playoffs and lose to a bad team.
Oh, I'd have to look that up, but I'm sure it's happened.
It hasn't happened, man.
Oh, it's happened, James. It has happened in the end. John Harbaugh is not the only team that's lost to a bad team. I mean, right now I don't have it in front of me, but when we get off here, I can definitely search for it.
We're gonna go to the last 3 years. Last 3 years.
There have been.
That was bad.
Yeah, there's been. I'll have to look that up, but I'm sure there has been a bad team. Good teams that have lost to bad teams. I'm sure that's happened. I don't know how often.
DK Metcalf was out. Come on, man.
Well, no, I'm like I said, he underperformed, but I'm looking at his whole 18. I'm looking at how he started, where he came from, the opportunity he was given, and what he did in 18 years. Right, like that's what I'm saying. He's not great. You're right. I'm not going to put him with the great coaches. There have been some great coaches, but I do think he's a little above average. I do.
What has he done to say that he's above average, but win a Super Bowl? What?
I think when you win a Super Bowl, I think when you win a Super Bowl, that's hard. There's been many coaches, good coaches, that never won a Super Bowl.
Man, is Mike McCarthy above average?
I think at one point Mike McCarthy was good.
No, I'm just saying, is he above average coach?
Mike McCarthy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not a bad coach. I think he's about where Harbaugh is. Yeah, in Green Bay. Yes, because I think it's hard to win a Super Bowl. We talk. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to win one Super Bowl. It is.
When you got talent, you should win.
No, you should, but that's not always the case. You know that. I mean, Joe Burrow is a great. He may never win one, right? I mean, we've seen great players who never win a Super Bowl. Never.
Oh, yeah. And then I agree with that.
And I mean, like I said, I can't put these coaches in that great, because great is different. But I do think Harbaugh is above average. You
I
know,
don't. He's average. He's I mean
and
he was an average quarterback. He's an average coach.
but nevertheless, he's going to get an opportunity again. I think so. So we'll see how that plays. I think as
And
his,
well, he
as his
his brother is a way better coach than he is.
that could be true. That could be
Way
true.
better than he is.
That could be true. But you know, the career's not over yet. So we'll hopefully we're still doing these podcasts when he retires, and then we can really sum it up. But I think right now, to me, he's a little above average, and we'll see. Now, if he does win another Super Bowl, where do you have him? If he happens to take another team and win a Super Bowl, where is he now? Because right now you're saying he's average. So if he takes this team, whether it be Cleveland or the Giants, wherever he coaches, if in the next 7 years he takes another team to a Super Bowl, that's two. Where do you have him? Where would you rank John Harbaugh then?
It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to rank him. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
He's not going to win a Super Bowl in the next 7 years. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
I'm asking you a question, Gabe.
What was that?
My Seattle Seahawks team.
You want to talk about it? Let's go and talk about it.
Do you consider Pete Carroll an average quarterback, an average coach, or above average coach?
I think he's the same way as Hardball. I think he's a little above average. I do. I have average coaches who don't win Super Bowls but get into the playoffs, right? Like I think once you win a Super Bowl, you're above average, even if you won one, because I think it's so hard. The way I judge these coaches, I think it's hard to win. I think it's hard to win on Sunday, much less a Super Bowl. I think if you win a Super Bowl as a coach, I think you're above average. And then how many you win, how many times, that determines your greatness. But if you can win one, I don't put you, because I put average coaches that are good and never get there. Like let's say, like where do you put Mark Levy? I think was his name, the Bills coach. He was a legendary coach who went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and never won one. Where do we put him?
Average.
Okay, and see that. Okay, and I agree, he's average, right? Now, if John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy win one, I can't put average in them because they want something that he never did. And I think Mark Levy's a great coach, and he had talent. He had Bruce Smith, he had Jim Kelly, he had Thurman Thomas, right? But he came across a really good Dallas Cowboy team, right? He just came across some teams that were better than him.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah, that's why I say they're a little above average. I agree with you that they are not great. We can't put great, but I put above average because they did something that I think other coaches that are really, really good are average because they never won, right? And then you determine greatness by how many Super Bowls you win as a coach, right? So that's how I determine those things, right? But I think Pete Carroll's. I know why you guys don't like Pete Carroll, because he made a dumb call that most coaches don't do, right? When you have Marcel Lynch and you just hand him the ball 4 times, he's going to get in, but instead you want to pass the ball. God only knows why, and then they get that interception, and it cost you a Super Bowl. Like I can understand why Seahawks fans will always dislike this guy. You'll respect him because you brought you a Super Bowl, but at the same time, you just can't understand, and I'll never understand why you passed the ball.
I'm gonna show you. Watch wherever they go, wherever McCarthy go, and watch wherever Harbaugh go. Watch what they do. And
Yeah, I think there's a good
average coaches.
Yeah, I think there's a very good chance that John Harbaugh goes and never wins again, right? I think Mike McCarthy. I find it hard that Mike McCarthy will even ever coach in the NFL again. I just don't.
Question: are they Hall of Fame coaches?
No. I mean, will they get in? Maybe, but no, no. When you coach, no, because we've seen. That's why I say they're average. No, to me, no. Hall of Fame coaches: Andy Reid, Bill Belichick. Let's take Don Shula. Don Shula, did he ever? He won a Super Bowl? Didn't he? How many Super Bowls did he win? Don Shula. Did he ever win one? Okay.
Yeah, they had the perfect season with Mercury Morris and Larry Zonk and those guys. Brian Greasy.
Yeah, no, I don't think I mean winning one. That's why I say winning one is average. To me, it's hard for me to put these coaches in the same table. And you and I have talked about this. We've talked about this with NBA players, right? And how you put someone that never won a championship, right? And you put them at sitting at the table with those that have won 6 or 5. Like it doesn't make sense, right? Like, yeah, you were a great player, but these guys achieved something. And I think you have to look at the team and who was on you because that affects it as well. But to put them in the same table or wear the same jacket, I think they need to be distinguished because if I won 6 and you won none, but yet we got the same thing on, I don't really think that's, I mean, I like to see
I
something
agree.
different.
I
So,
agree.
so I think the same thing. That's why, yes, hardball. To me, that's what I claim. But are they Hall of Fame? No, because then you've got the Belichicks and you've got the Jimmy Johnsons, right, who won multiple. No, no. So yeah, yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else you want to say about your Seahawks now that we're there?
Oh yeah, man. We're getting ready, man, to make that trip to the Super Bowl. I told you, if we win it, I'm catching the flight home.
Yeah, I know. I know you told me that. I'm sure.
Man, I don't care. I'm catching the flight home.
Yeah, look, James. I think they've got a great. To me, they've got a great chance. Right? They've already beaten the Rams. They've already beaten them, and this was just not too long ago, right? That we saw us. The Seahawks go in and win. To me, they're the hottest team, like Jacksonville in the AFC. They're
Oh,
playing great
good.
football at the right time. Look, this is good for me.
Good,
This is what's gonna come down to me. They've got everything. They're playing it. They don't have to leave Seattle. You have to go into Seattle and beat them. For me, this is what it all
12
comes down to.
men. You got 12
Oh
men, man.
yeah.
You got that
Well,
comes downtown, man. And when you're downtown, when you lose, don't be mad. Go down to Pike Place Market and get you some fish.
but
That's
look,
what you
this is what it comes down to me. For me, it's Sam Darnold. That he's got to play well because he's either going to help you win or he's going to screw it up. But he's the key.
I,
He's the question mark, right? But he's been playing great. He's been doing what he needs to do to win the games. So look, to me, I like the Rams, but I think the going into the playoffs, the Seahawks are the team to beat. I mean, I think that's
yeah,
just that what we've seen the last couple of weeks. You have to come only to that conclusion, right? They are the team to beat.
I'm not gonna be there anyway because Carolina gonna put them out.
It could be. I don't see that. I don't see that, but it could be. I mean, you never know, right? That the Rams are a good team. The 49ers are a good team. I just think at playing at home in Seattle, that's a huge advantage
That'll
playing
come.
at home.
That'll
And
come.
then Seattle in the last couple of weeks, they have played great. They have beaten really good teams. They
Yeah.
have just shown you in the last couple of weeks,
We be winners.
right, that we can win a tough game at home, right, in the division, and then we can go to the division opponent's house and beat them there. This happened just not too long ago. So they are on top of the world, and then you're playing at home where they're comfortable. They love the weather. They've got the fans. Why would they not be the favorites?
We the favorites, man.
Yeah.
And be surprised. Don't be surprised if San Francisco go to Philadelphia and beat them.
Oh, I think I mean, look, the AFC is. Oh, look, this is what I got to say this week. I told you the only game I really wasn't. There was one game I really wasn't too fond of. I mean, I'll watch it. I think it was the Chargers. I told you right. And who were they playing?
The Chargers are playing Denver.
Denver. I'll watch that, but that one wasn't a priority for me. But the rest of them, man, James, I'm gonna be tuned in on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, man. I mean, like
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be glued to the TV this weekend.
and then we'll come right here on GT Sports Professional College Podcast, keeping it 100. We'll come down here and recap that, so you can definitely tune in and find out. Obviously, James is a Seattle Seahawk fan. He's from the state of Washington. My Cowboys, I'm just gonna say they're my team, but we ain't gonna talk about them because they're
Why
not
would
worthy to
we
talk about right now.
They're not even in the playoffs. Stop that, Gabe.
I know.
Gabe, stop that.
I know. But look, every Fluss got fired, so I mean we're on the right track.
We are not gonna talk about the Cowboys.
Was it?
Stop the game.
Hey, okay, I got to see the dollar bill. So once I see the dollar bill, then I got to shut it
Gotta
up. There you go. Okay, there you go. There you
We
go.
gotta stop, game.
All right, there you
Stop.
go. That's the key to move on. That's the key to move on.
Okay.
All right, so we'll move on. Let's talk about another coach, head coach, James, that was let go, and that's Arizona Cardinal coach Jonathan Gannon, who was also fired. Now, you and I talked about him. You had kind of mixed emotions about this fire. Explain to us what your thoughts.
Coordinator, and Gannon was a good coach, man, but he went into a situation that was a lose-lose situation. A lose-lose situation. That organization is in shambles, man. It's a lose-lose situation. Tyler Murray is a good quarterback, man. And then you know the organization draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and you've been a bust. You're nothing like your father. You've been a, and then you go get this really backup running back and try to make him a lead back, James Conner. Man, he just went into a lose-lose situation. He went to a lose-lose situation, man, and I hate it for the guy like Gannon, man. I think he's a great coach, a great football mind, man, but he was in a lose-lose situation. He wasn't going to win in that situation. He wasn't. But he will get a chance to be a head coach again. Young guy, spirited, gonna have a chip on his shoulder.
I think you will, and I definitely agree 100% with you. I thought it was a bad situation for him. I didn't, and I always said this, right? He just, on top of that, the situation being what it is, and the draft and all the stuff that they've done, right? He was never set up for success. And the other thing is the injuries were just, they were bad. He had injury after injury after injury, different players having to come in. I mean, he never really stood a chance to be successful. The receiver, he said Harrison, right? So far he has not turned out any.
He's a bust. He's a bust.
What it has turned out to be.
He's a bust, man. Right. Right now, what's gonna happen in the future, but you know, right now it's your second year, and you still hasn't blossomed. You know, you're a bust.
Yeah,
you're gonna bust.
I mean, I know he got. I know he got fired for the record that he had, but I don't think it was all his fault. I definitely agree with you. Bad situation.
That organization is dysfunctional, man.
Yeah, and
our organization, they are.
He's a great coordinator. I'm thinking he'll get a coordinating job if he wants one. Now I don't know if the head coaching job right this year will be it there. I think he has to, you know, kind of go back and become a coordinator for maybe 2-3 years and then see what he does. But I do think, James, that he can be a coordinator. If he wants to coach, I'm sure they're going to pick him as a coordinator because I think he's a great coordinator.
The right fit for him, man. He'll be a great coach.
And I think I think he can come back. Yeah, I think he can come back as a coordinator. And then I hopefully he'll have another shot in the NFL in a couple of years because I do think he's a good coach. I just think he was in a bad situation. But look, you learn, right? You learn the situation, you learn what's going on, and then hopefully he'll have another opportunity. But hopefully Gannon will be
Dog pound.
Dog pound. Well, we'll see what happens. That's going to be the interesting part.
The dog pound, man. So dog pound got to come back. The dog pound. I love the dog pound. I've always been a Cleveland fan.
I've never been I don't dislike them. I don't dislike them. I'll tell you right now, the teams I'll never root for. I'm not a Washington Redskin Commander fan. I'm not a New York Giant fan. I'm not a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I'm not a San Francisco 49er fan, and I don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody else,
the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, man. So
yeah,
and they from Fort Worth, Texas, and they are not Cowboy fans. They are Pittsburgh, the terrible town fans.
Yeah. I'll never like those teams. I never have. I never will. But here on the podcast, I'm fair with them, right? When they do good, man, just because it's the podcast, I'm not going to keep dogging. I'll give them props when they can. But me personally, liking them, cheering for them, it's never happened in my life. And I don't think it ever will, man, as I've gotten older. So those are the teams, just so people know that watch this, those are the teams that I'm not in favor for. If they lose, I'm good, because I'll never cheer for them. Oh, one more team, the New England Patriots. I'm not a fan of the Patriots as well. Those are the teams.
What you know I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy you a New York, not New York, but a Washington Commanders jersey for Christmas.
I told you I like it's weird because I like I'm a Jaden Daniels fan. I like that kid. I like that kid. I've liked him since I saw him play. There's something special about that kid. So I do root for him. I'm not a Commander a fan whatsoever. I'm not. But I do like Jaden Daniels, so I will watch the Commanders because I do want to see him have some success. I do cheer for him. So in some ways, when he does good, the team I don't like is going to do good. So I'm kind of like in the middle. But for some reason, Jaden Daniels, man, I like watching him play.
Special quarterback, man. He just right now, man. He in the organization, and I just told you, man. I have never been a fan of Dan Quinn.
Oh,
Never, as a defensive coordinator, at Seattle, man, bro, we had killers on defense. That's why you got a job at Atlanta because the killers we had on defense.
mhm. No, I definitely understand.
I'm a fan, man, and I'm just not. I'm not a Dan Quinn fan. You went to Atlanta, and you let Tom Brady come back from what 21, 28, and beat you. That shows you what kind of coach you are.
Well, and the other thing is people will never forget that, right? I mean, because that was your game to win, and you didn't win it, right? So tough, tough, tough. It was just tough, man. And we'll get into a lot of that other stuff because there's some stuff I want to get in. I want to get your thoughts on when it concerns the Las Vegas Raiders and Tom Brady, and we'll get that in just a bit. But I do want to go over two other assistants. Just get your thoughts on Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. There's been a mutual decision, I believe, whatever that means, that he will not be coming back as the OC. Dan Quinn, I think, is going to remain there, but he's going to have to look for an offensive coordinator. Your thoughts on when you heard that he would not be coming back? Is that something to your liking or
Uh,
disliking?
Kingsbury has he's a good he's a good offensive minded coordinator, but you have to understand Kingsbury was a head coach. So, him and Dan Quinn, by him being a former head coach and Dan Quinn being a head coach, man, it just wasn't gonna jail. Because Kingsbury want to do it his way and Dan Quinn want to do it his way. It just wasn't gonna jail. It's hard for two head coaches and a head coach coming and being a coordinator, taking you know, listening to the head coach, when I was a head coach also, you tell me what to do and what not to do, it just wasn't going to jail. It just wasn't. And
Well,
I think Barry, he'll get another shot. I don't know as a coach, but as a coordinator, as an offense coordinator, I'd like to see him in Cleveland, Dog Pound. I
well,
see him.
Well, he according to reports, right? He already had other options. Now they didn't go into the options, so maybe there's already something on the table that he knows is guaranteed. Because the one thing the report said was that Kingsbury had other options, other avenues, other ways to go. So for him to lead there, there's something promising. I mean, I'm saying Kingsbury, we're going to see him somewhere again next year. He'll be somewhere, but it seemed like he had another gig ready lined up, ready to go. But they did have success their first year. I mean, like when I thought that when they were winning games, I thought, wow, man, like I didn't expect this so quick from the Commanders. So that first year, not this year, but last year, a lot of success with the young quarterback. And Kingsbury calling the plays and getting into the playoffs. And then this year, those injuries came and they just fell apart. They just completely fell apart. And you heard me say
They had
here,
a lot of issues. Debo, McLaren got injured.
no, they never ever got going this year. Never got going. They never got going, and they had a really bad season. And remember, I was the one saying that I thought this team was going to be deep in the playoffs this year, and that never materialized, right? And a lot of that was the injuries. And then the other one I want to talk to you about was the offensive coordinator Morton, Coach Morton from the Detroit Lions, gone. Right, he's gone. Now I said coming into my biggest question coming into the season was the offense were the Detroit Lions going to take a step or two back because of the coordinators, not just Ben Johnson, but with Aaron Glenn, both deep coordinators going to head coaching jobs? Because when you lose one, it's hard, but when you lose two, I think it's difficult. Were the Lions going to take a step back? Well, now that the season's over, they did. Dan Campbell makes the decision to say, "Hey, I'm going with a different coordinator." Morton, now your thoughts on the Lions saying farewell to their offensive coordinator?
The writing was on the wall. I don't remember what week it was. It might have been week 7, 6, week 6, 7, or 8, when Dan Campbell said, "I'm taking over the play calling responsibilities." The writing was on the wall then.
It was.
Telling you gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Because well, are we going to pay you not to call plays when you were calling plays? Right. Once you've been demoted, right. Yeah. Once you've been demoted from your duties to something like that, like play calling, the writing's on the wall. We're not going to bring you back next year. Right. Yeah.
That you was gone.
Well, Dan Campbell now he's got to pick this team back up, right? So he's got to go get another coordinator. I think the defensive coordinator is probably going to stay. I haven't heard anything about him, but the offensive coordinator. So who's next for Detroit? Dan Campbell's got a lot of questions he needs to answer, because the Lions took a step back from where they were at, a huge step back, not even making the playoffs, right? And really, in third or fourth place in the division, right? Chicago now is up there. Green Bay's in front of them. And to some, I think they ended up with the same record as Minnesota. So that's not to the liking of what we saw in 1 year. They have dropped dramatically in the division.
And Campbell don't even realize you on the hot seat.
He is. That seat is getting hot, isn't it?
Good. Have a bad year next year, you're going to be gone.
Yes. That's something that we haven't spoken a lot of on this podcast, but yes, that seat is definitely getting hot, because he's got an off season to figure out what happened to his Detroit, because that's too much talent over there too. And when you look at them, they tied for last in the division, right? That's just not acceptable. So you're right. If he doesn't get this right and get the right coach up in there and steer this ship to say in the right way. Oh man, yeah, I think he can be gone too. So we'll definitely.
You got Gibbs on offense. You got a good tight end. You got Jameson Williams.
We got Brown.
And
yeah,
everybody's not supposed to be in the playoffs.
I know.
Yeah. There's no way, man.
Too much talent. I mean, not only not making the playoffs, right, but you're tied for last place in your division. Whoa. Just doesn't look good. Yeah, the seat's hot. He's feeling it, and he's got a lot of work to do this offseason.
Hot. His seat hot.
Absolutely. So that was a little bit of talk from the NFL, James. Now we're going to turn it over to college. We've got the Final Four in football. We haven't talked much about this, but tomorrow's a big game. Number 10, Miami against number 6, Ole Miss. Listen, we haven't even made our predictions. We're going to make it here now, so I'm going to give the floor to you. Who do you got and why?
Have you heard of the name Carson Beck?
I sure have.
He won a championship, right? Did he win a championship?
I think he did with Georgia, did he not?
Yes, he did, as a starting quarterback. So I'm letting you know who my pick is.
That's man. Right. Yeah. Listen, Cristobal's done a heck of a job. This team ain't supposed to be here, right? They're not supposed to be here in the Final Four, are they? I mean,
yes, they are.
No, they are. But I'm saying, just the way that there was that talk about, are they going to get in? Are they not? Are they good enough to get in? How well did they play? You have Georgia, you have all these other teams. No one even thought. There was, I should say, some people thought that they may or may not get in. There was that question, but then they get in, and then here they are. This is great play. I'm going to tell you what this is too for Miami. This is great coaching.
I got the U.
This is great coaching.
In the championship.
This is great coaching. This is all around great coaching. This is, keeping the belief with his players that they can win. They can be the last team standing. This is great assistant coaching. This is coaching. They're here. They got players, but this is coaching all season long. To get to this point, you got to talk about their coaching. A lot of this is coaching. and understanding the situation, knowing their players, and keeping the confidence in them.
Most definitely.
Because yeah,
Most definitely. I
because
agree.
Miami's playing great. Like, cause when we were talking, well, are they going to get in? Or if this team loses, they'll get in. And I'm like, oh man, if they get in, they're probably not going to do nothing. One and done, maybe. Like you're thinking this to yourself. And here they are with a great opportunity to beat Ole Miss, right? Like tell me about Ole Miss, because the quarterback, James. I watched this guy. This guy is, and I told you this, James. This guy can play football.
Yeah, I've been watching him a couple of years, man. But let's see how you play in the big game. See, you understand, Miami's coach Cristobal. He came from Oregon,
Mhm.
so he know about the big game.
Mhm.
He knew about the big game. But I'm not gonna take Ole Miss over Miami. I'm not gonna do that. And Carson Beck know what it means to win the big game. So I'm going
Miami. You going Miami, you said?
Miami by 10.
I should go with Miami, but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to tell you why. Boy, it's a mess over there with Lane Kiffin leaving and all this talk about, recruitment and coaches wanting to go to LSU and this all these things that are going on with Ole Miss, right? Okay, they're going to lose and they just lost their coach. And some players may feel like, he just abandoned us. He talked all this stuff about we're good enough to win. Here we are. And the first chance that he gets, he's gone. It's in the, he didn't care about. I mean, all these things can go through your mind. I'm not saying that's what they're thinking, but as a fan of football, right, you're thinking like, wow, man, your head coach leaves you, right? Like as soon as the opportunity presents itself, I'm going. All that stuff I said to you, yeah, I'm going. He took off, and then he wants to bring some coaches and possibly some players. I mean, there's a mess right now. And then
Bringing like 3 coaches. They
right,
going to LSU.
right. And through all of this that they're going and what they read and on social media and the news outlet and stuff, they still find a way to win to get themselves. I think it's impressive just to be able to get themselves to this position with everything that's surrounding their school, yet they're winning. And this quarterback, what I saw from him, like I think Miami has the advantage, obviously, for the reasons that you said. Beck's been in the big games, Cristobal's been in big games. But this kid, when I watched his last game, he was so impressive down the stretch against Georgia, the best dude, like a defensive dog every year. Like that defense is tough.
And Georgia's on a down year. Alabama's on a down year, man.
Okay, but they're still Georgia. They may not be. They're still Georgia.
They're on a down year. On a down year, man.
No, a down year. No. I mean, to their standards, yes, but still very good. Still very good team. Maybe not to the elite defense or offense that we've seen in the past, but still very good. Very good team.
So you got Ole Miss over Miami.
I do.
Okay. I got Miami over Ole Miss.
Sounds
and we're going to talk about this.
Huh?
We're going to talk about it.
Well, I mean, I think the favorite is Miami, should be, but I was impressed by the way. I don't know that Ole Miss is going to win. I'm just saying I'm taking them because I like that quarterback. That quarterback, what I saw from him, he had no scare in him, no scare. He was making play after play
good quarterback.
Play.
Good quarterback.
And if he does that, if he plays the same way he did against Miami, he will win that game. If he can perform that way, because that guy he just made a play. I was just like, okay, when's he gonna mess up? And he just kept making big play up and down. Oh my God.
But this is we're gonna see. Like you said, you got Ole Miss.
You got Miami.
Those are the picks. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Those are the picks. My brother got Ole Miss, and I have Miami.
Sounds good. Yeah.
And like our videos, but I got Miami.
All right, sounds good.
And
then let's go Friday. Friday is the other game. Number 5 Oregon against number 1 Indiana. Who you got?
Oh man, I'm from the Northwest, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think I know who you're gonna pick.
I'm from the Northwest. And where's Oregon at?
Over there from your parts of the world, over there from where you're from, in that little.
You know I'm going with.
I know. I kind of figured. I was thinking. I said, I know that's James's neighbor over there, so he's going to be.
You know who I'm going with.
Right. Listen, I look. I like. First of all, Oregon is no stranger to being in situations like this, right? That's a very good team over there. They have talent, great coaching every year, every year. Indiana's new to this, right? Like they've had a great season. I mean, I didn't even have them. I didn't even know who. I mean, last year, yeah, we heard about them, but in the Big Ten, but this has been remarkable. The season that they've had has been remarkable. Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy, I think, right? And their coach. That look, I love the players. I'm getting to know the players. That coach is legit. He's under a Nick Saban tree, right? He learned a lot from Nick Saban. To go to Indiana, not even a football school, right? Like a basketball. They win championships in basketball, not football. And for him, yeah, and for him to turn this program around and do what he has done, I think it's going to be hard for him, James. I really do. I'm going to stick with him because I just like what he's done. But I think this is going to be a tough matchup to beat Oregon. I just think it is. I think this is the one time I'm going with Indiana, but I think they're going to have to play absolutely their best game to beat Oregon because if they don't, they won't win. But I'm going to go with Indiana because I love what they have done, what Mendoza has done this year, and especially what that coach has done this year. No one except maybe them thought that they would be here. I don't think there was any football fan outside of Indiana that thought that Indiana would be here, right? Like I never heard anybody talk. So I'm going to go with them, but I think it's going to be tough. Mendoza's got to play his great game to win. And I don't know if he's got it in him, but I'm going to ride with him.
We'll see.
All right. So let's what else? So you wanted to talk about some things. So before we get into, well, we've already talked about the NFL, right? And the playoffs. We could go into the NBA, but there were some things you were talking to me about earlier. Some stuff you wanted to get off your chest, right? There was some stuff about Shedeur Sanders and Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I'll give you the floor.
there's some things about Shedeur Sanders. We keep receipts. I got a box of receipts. Rex Ryan, he had some really bad things to say about Shedeur. And all of a sudden, you backtracking. And Rex Ryan, keep that same. Emmanuel Acho, whatever your name is, Acho, you had some bad things to say about Shedeur. Now you're backtracking. Emmanuel Acho, you keep the same energy because you was an average player at Texas and you was an average player in the NFL, and you're kind of young and you're now being your own podcast. You're not NFL no more. But it just shows what you were. Tom Brady, I remember what you said about celebrating and going down and celebrating with the linemen. We knew you threw that shot at Shedeur. So, just keep that same energy. Who else I can name? Marcellus Wiley, who played for the Chargers. And he's from LA, California. And you was the worst NFL player to come out of Los Angeles, California. Marcellus Wiley, you were. You was terrible. Who else can I go to? J.J. Watt. Don't forget J.J. Watt. Seen what you said about Shedeur and how Gabriel was a better quarterback. Now you backtracking. You backtracking about the comments you made about Shedeur. Jason Lloyd, he's with the Cleveland Browns media. Everybody know that you was a racist. And you just talked bad about Shedeur and said things about Shedeur that wasn't even true. Now you're trying to backtrack. No. Keep the same energy. All you Shedeur haters who talked bad about the young man and said he wasn't no good, he couldn't run, he couldn't throw, do not backtrack. Keep that same energy that you had. That same energy. Oh, and I forgot about one more guy who played for Missouri, who stole money from the NFL because he was terrible. Chase Daniels. Don't forget Chase Daniels. I heard about what you said about Shedeur Sanders. All of a sudden, you backtracking and you stole money from the NFL because you was a terrible backup. You was a terrible player. Chase Daniels. Now you're backtracking. I'm saying this to say that all you Shador haters and who criticize Shador about his work ethic, but he couldn't throw, he couldn't run. He proved everybody wrong because 3 weeks in a row he led them in rushing. Mm-hmm. So all you haters who criticize him, keep that same energy. And Rex Ryan, the only thing you known for Rex Ryan is the butt fumble, and your daddy was a garbage coach too, Buddy. And I got the hat on, the Oilers hat. Buddy was a garbage coach. He ran Earl Campbell to the ground. And you had talent with Billy White, Sue Johnson, and those guys, Dan Pastorini. You was garbage, and your son Rex was garbage. I just want to say, Rex, don't change that energy. Keep the same energy.
Well, yeah, look, I've been on the record as saying I like Shedeur Sanders. I think he's a talent. I've seen enough, and I've said this on record, and I'll say it again. I have seen enough to think that he can be a quarterback in the NFL. How good can he be? There's a lot of factors into that. Where would he land? What kind of coaching will he have? I mean, there's a lot of things that play into that. But for somebody to say that he don't have the talent, and then if you watch him play, you can't say that because that's not accurate. That there's got to be some type of personal issue that you have with it because on the field he can play. I mean, he was picked to go first round. People that do this for a job, as their career, see him. They study every movement that he makes, and you've got people saying that he can be a first round pick in the NFL, right? So there's some personal issues there, and unfortunate. It's sad that happens, but you're right. The energy that you had when this first started, you need to keep that energy now. Don't backtrack, right? This is how you felt. But again, for me, I think this kid can play. I think he's fun to watch. You talked about some of the things in Cleveland when he had got there, what he's done that maybe has been on the news or not, where he's helped out that community with his own personal finances or money. So Shedeur, you may what we see because look, here's the thing, James, right? Like we don't know Shedeur Sanders personally, right? We see what we see on the field, we see the celebration, we see the clothing, we see everything, but we don't know, right? We run on a persona that he gives out, but it's hard to get personal. That's why I say when I see these guys on the football field, I try to keep the criticism to the plane of the field because I don't know these guys, right? I don't know them personally. I've never been to their home. I've never seen what kind of father or husband or brother or uncle, whatever they may be. So keep it, you got to keep it to on the field. But I think I'll say this, when you watch Shedeur play, you can't say he don't have talent. He's got talent.
There's no way you can say that. There's no way.
Talent. Yeah, he's got talent. He's not now.
No way.
Yeah, does he have to be coached up? Well, everybody does when they first come in. But does he have to? When someone says he ain't got talent, I'm looking like, what do you mean he ain't got talent? Like he's got talent.
What you been watching?
Yeah, like he's got talent. Like I've seen enough. That's why I said this kid can play in the NFL. Now how great can he be in the NFL? Well, that depends on coaching and where he lands or whatever. But does he have potential? Oh, yes. He's got potential to play in the NFL. No doubt about that.
And I know it.
Right. So I want to give James an opportunity. Obviously, it's something that kind of resonates with him. He's close and he wanted to come out. And like I said, we keep it 100 here, man. Like we're going to tell you what we feel and why we say these things. That's one thing about the podcast, right? We're going to say what we feel down here on the podcast, and James wanted to have those words, so I definitely wanted to give him the floor to be able to communicate with you guys. And some guys are going to agree, some fans are not going to agree, right? Like I understand that, but if you hear this podcast, the comment section is there for you, man. Definitely chime in if you agree, disagree with the comments, and we'll get back to you, James. We'll get back to you. He can see the comments like I can, and we'll definitely respond. Look, we love dialogue. We don't expect everybody to agree with what we say. We say what we feel, man. We got a podcast. We say we feel. You can say what you feel, but hear whatever you say. We respect your opinion, like we want you guys to respect ours. We may disagree, but anybody that puts something in, as long as it's not personal or stuff, just keep it, within the
One more
sport.
thing, Gabe, to
We'll be
say.
good. We'll definitely respect your opinion.
I want one more thing to say, Gabe. We need more people of color in the head coaching world of the NFL.
Okay.
We need more. We
Well,
need more. I'm tired of the good old boys hiring the same people. We need to bring some color into the NFL.
absolutely. I definitely agree with that. And I think a lot of other people share your thoughts and feel the same way you do. I've actually heard that on other shows that I watch, so I know you're not the only one that feels that way. James, let's get into the NBA, man. A couple of games tonight that I wanted to talk to you about. You got Denver and Boston. Boston doing pretty good, but Denver without the Joker just isn't Denver, right? So I don't really talk a lot about them. There's two games that I do want to get your thoughts on.
Boston in that game. Boston.
There are two games that I want to talk to you about tonight, and that's the Clippers. They're still down, right, as far as their record, but there has been some signs. Kawhi Leonard playing more minutes. Kawhi Leonard playing better. They've been injured. They're getting healthy. They're getting some of their players back. We all know you and I both love Coach Lou, right? I mean, we think he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. I think that way. I think you feel the same way about him. They're going to go to New York and they're going to take on those Knicks, and those Knicks are still in that slump. Who do you got? The Clippers with Kawhi or Brunson with New York?
I like Kawhi and the Clippers, but I'm gonna take Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, Brunson, Malik Bridges, Josh Hart, and those guys. I'm taking New York. Everybody, it's still early in the year, so you're gonna go through slump. So I'm gonna take those guys. I'm gonna take New York. I like Ty Lue, man, but you're pretty much coaching an Asian team, man. So
yes,
I'm gonna take New York.
I am too. I'm going to go with New York. I know they've been losing. I still think they're the best team in the East. And it is a long season, so teams do go through that stuff. But I'm not really worried about them because I know what they have. I've seen enough of them. So even though the Clippers are up and Kawhi's playing better, I think the Knicks are going to be too much for them tonight. And at home,
definitely.
I'm going with New York as well. And then the other game I wanted to get your thoughts on, your LA Lakers, because I know you like the Lakers. They're from that area over on your side of the country. Same time zone, right? 2 hours. Y'all in the same time zone, LA and Seattle, right?
Yeah.
They're coming over to San Antonio to play my Spurs. Now the Spurs have been playing good, but they haven't been getting the W's. The Lakers got a great record. Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, I think is still out, man. But who do you got and why?
I don't. That's right now. That's a pick'em game, man. Because I read something that a lot of the Lakers locker room, they're not really listening to JJ Redick. They're not even listening to LeBron James. So it's some turmoil going on with the Lakers organization right now. When you got pretty much 90% of your team not listening to your head coach because he's favoring LeBron James, that is a problem.
Absolutely.
That's a problem. So tonight, I'm going with San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm taking the Spurs too.
Hey, everybody, this Dito right.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh,
Dog, yeah.
Everybody out Dito, people. Get down.
He wants to, James. He wants to get in action, man. We gotta let him, man. Sports fans love dogs. They love animals, man.
Dito.
Yeah, anytime we get a chance, anytime he's there with you and he wants to get a chance and he wants to get himself involved in the podcast, please let him come on, man. It's a beautiful dog. And I know,
He tried to take over.
yeah, I know I know how much that dog means to you, James. So anytime he's around and he wants to get in, let him come on. Let the
Yeah, Antonio beating the Lakers.
All right, sounds good. I do too. And you know why? Wemby's getting healthier. He's back. He's still coming off the bench where he was last night. But I hear the same thing about the Lakers. I think there's some definitely some rift there. And there's some inside, yeah. And look, I'll say this. I don't. And you and I have talked about this, right? About LeBron. I don't think LeBron's coming back to LA. I don't think they're going to offer him anything to.
They don't want him back. They're trying to get that contract out the way.
No, I bet James. I think even if he takes a cut and pay, I think the Lakers don't want him back.
He is not coming back.
No, they need him to be out of the organization so Luka Doncic they can build around Luka. And look, the way things are going now, JJ Redick might be heading out with LeBron.
Too much oil.
Look, you got to understand this. I think if you're a fan, right? I don't know what's going on over there because I don't pay a lot of attention to LA, to the Lakers. But there's new ownership there. It's not that Jeannie Buss. I know she's still part of it, but there's new ownership. And I don't think that ownership is going to take lightly to all this stuff that's going on. Like, you've got to win. If you're not winning, they're going to bring somebody else in that will get the job done. So with LeBron, and I would be surprised if LeBron James comes back to LA next year. I don't think he will be. And I think JJ Redick is going to be gone as well. But James, thank you for the podcast. This was a great podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff that I wanted to. We're looking to come back tomorrow as well to talk more stuff. But there's the college basketball and the women's. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So a lot more sports to talk about, but I'll give you the final word, man. Anything you want to add?
No, we always say, man, put God first, like and subscribe to GT Sports /100, man. Continue to support us, man, because we're going to bring you the real.
Absolutely. And again, if you like what we do, you can see the entirety of our podcast on GT Sports Spotify and GT Sports YouTube. We will take clips like you've seen from the podcast, and we'll break them down to 2-3 minutes, and you can catch those video clips on GT Sports Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. But if anybody wants to see the entirety from beginning to end on all of our podcasts here on GT Sports Professional College, it's on YouTube and YouTube and Spotify. James, thank you very much. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out.